Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today let's find out what really makes everything work, like the apps on your phone or the websites you visit, also smart home devices, and even big platforms like Amazon and Netflix. So, what's behind all of this? They all have one thing in common, that is, they use APIs. You might have heard the term API before as well. And in this session, you will learn what an API actually does and why it is everywhere. But first, let's start with the important question. What is an API? You have probably seen these type of messages even before as well, or maybe even typed one yourself. But no worries. Let's break it down in a way that actually makes sense. API stands for Application Programming Interface. In this, application means any software you use, like the WhatsApp app on your phone or the Amazon website. Programming is how developers write instructions so the app works, like making sure your message gets delivered or your phone is placed. An interface is just the connection point, like how WhatsApp connects to the internet to send your message, or how Amazon connects to a payment system when you check out. So you can think API as a middleman, or we can say helpful messenger. This API or a middleman connects two different software systems and helps them talk to each other. So whenever one app needs to get or send data to another app, like your phone app talking to a server, it uses an API to do that job. You don't need to know how everything works in the background. The API handles the communication for you. If you look at the API definition, I have kept it really simple. An API is just a way for two apps or systems to talk to each other. So basically, the API takes your request, goes to the backend system, collects the needed information, processes it if required, and then comes back with a proper response. And all this happens in a second. Let's make it more real and easier for you to understand. Imagine you open your phone to book an Uber, or you want to send money using your banking app, or you would like to stream your favorite show on Netflix. It all feels so simple, right? But there is a powerful technology that is working behind the scenes to make it all happen. And it is all possible because you are actually using an API in the background. So it's like you are saying, hey API, can you grab this information for me? And you know what API replies? Sure, give me a second. And you get the result. That is, your Uber ride is confirmed, your money is sent in seconds, and your favorite show starts playing instantly. It all seems so easy. But behind the scenes, APIs are doing the hard work, helping these apps talk to other systems to make things happen. So, in a nutshell, we can say API is a request taker and a response giver. It takes your request, collects and processes the data, and finally brings back the result. So now onwards, when someone talks about APIs, you will get it right away. Let's keep going and explore how it really works behind the scenes. Imagine you are at a restaurant. You want some food, right? But you don't go inside the kitchen and cook it yourself. Instead, you just tell the waiter what you want, like one butter paneer, please. That waiters that waiters take your request to the kitchen and come back with your food. So if we look at this restaurant example, Here, you is like the app user, or we can say front end. The kitchen is the back end where the logic happens. Even you don't need to know how the food is cooked or what goes into it. You just want the final dish. And the waiter is your API, that is a middleman who takes your request, talks to the kitchen and brings your order back to you. On similar pattern, apps don't need to know how other systems work. They just use an API to get what they need. Hope you are clear now. Don't worry if still you have some doubts. We will take another live example to make it more clearer. Let's look something you have definitely used, Uber and Zomato. When you book a cab on Uber or order food using the Zomato app, you often see your location on a map. But have you ever thought of as Uber and Zomato didn't build those maps themselves? Now, if not by Uber and Zomato, then where do these maps come from? They use the Google Maps API. So, how does it all happen behind the scene? Basically, Uber and Zomato both act as clients, while Google Maps serves as the server in this case. However, Uber and Zomato cannot directly interact with the Google Maps server. So now question is, what Zomato and Uber require to interact with Google Maps server? They need a middleman. And that's where the Google Maps APIs comes in. So what Uber and Zomato do, they send requests to the Google Maps API. The API then fetches the required data from the Google Maps server and sends the response back to Uber and Zomato. So when the Google Maps API gets your request, it doesn't reply in plain English as driver is 5 minutes away. Instead, it sends the response in a format like JSON or XML, something apps can easily read and understand. Think of it this way. It's like asking Google, hey Google, give me the map for this address, and the Google replies with the relevant data. And that is how an API works. Another thing to remember is that APIs are not always free. We use API, we use apps and websites every day without making about what's happening behind the scenes. But building an API takes a lot of efforts for from planning and coding to testing, securing, maintaining, and even scaling it for millions of users. Like other valuable services, APIs often come at a cost. So businesses that use these APIs like Uber and Zomato using Google Maps typically have to pay for them. It's like renting a service, you use it, you pay for it. And cost may be depending on how much you use it or what kind of features you need. Because of that, the cost of using API can go up. So always remember, if you are using an API in your project or business, so there might be a price tag attached to it. So here is something interesting from this article. Uber, one of the biggest cab service provider in the world, paid $58 million dollars to Google's parent company Alphabet between 2016 and 2018. And that's a huge amount. Now, here is a very valid question. Why do we use API instead of building everything from scratch? Let's understand this with the help of an example. Let's say you are building a new e-commerce site. You want features like product search, payment gateway, delivery tracking, address verification, customer reviews, and so on. So now imagine trying to build all these functionalities from scratch. It would take months or even we can say years. Well, instead of building everything from scratch, you can use APIs to quickly add useful feature to your app or website. For example, Shopify, you can use it to search and manage product. Stripe, used to handle online payments securely. Google Map APIs, you can use it for show addresses and location. Similarly, Delivery API can be used for managing shipping and logistics, and Trustpilot's API for capturing reviews. This way, you save time, reduces cost, and allow your team can able to focus on core functionality. Thank you.